Hello there, and welcome again to another JGAMING third-person parkour controller. This is your inspector, Rabi Haddad, and from Lion Studio. And today we are just going to add this simple parkour system into our collection, and we are actually going to look for climb up cool animation here. Let's search for parkour. I'm using site Miximo as always. All my animation is from Miximo, but you can of course find the animation you want, and you can set it up in the same way. So for this parkour we will search for a very cool climb up. So as you can see here, all my animation come from Miximo. So let's see what do we have here in parkour. Okay, so all of it are very cool actions, but actually I'm using a lot of these actions. So I'm going to search for climb, and maybe I can find this very good animation that I want. Maybe this one is good climbing animation. So first of all, as you can see, the character is running before performing climbing action. So we can set the time here, so maybe to 15. So we can only add the climbing animation, maybe 16 here. So let's see. Yeah, it's looking good. Maybe 70, and I'll download. So 70. Yeah, it's start the parkour action immediately. So download this. Of course you want with the skin, so you can have a very nice and animation. Don't do without a skin here, because your character may have a problem after that and after importing to Unity. So FBX for Unity, and you hit download. And I'll actually already download these two animations. Here I do have these two animations in my folder. So first of all, you need to go to rig, set it to humanoid as you can see, and second thing, you go to the animation, which is the important part here. So if you have a climb up animation, you need to set this value like this: origin on pace upon, okay, and on the Y you need to set it on feet, and pace upon you need to set it as center of mass. But if you have an animation which is you are vaulting over something, but you are not climbing on the ledge, you just vaulting to the other side of the ledge, so you need just to pick into position in the rot transform rotation. Make sure that it is true. So right now, how we add these two animation into our animator controller? So it's just drag and drop. So I'm gonna drag and drop, and actually I'm just gonna name this to vault over, okay, not vault over box, and make transition to state locomotion. Okay, so we make a transition to state locomotions because we need the player to come back to locomotion whenever that he is performing the parkour action. Well, right now the most important thing in this system and how does it work is to go and create a new parkour action, and we will go with new parkour action. I'm gonna rename this one, as I'm going to start with the first animation, which is climbing. So I'm gonna rename it just climbing. So this is very important to fill up the scriptable object as I am guiding you right now. So first of all, the name of the animation. So you need to use this name of the animation, not this one which is over here, but the one which is over here in the animator. So it's a climbing. Make sure that you write it very right, but don't be afraid if you made a mistake. Unity will tell you that the name of an animation is not right. So obstacle tag, well, this we need it only for vaulting over, which means we need to go jump to the other side of the obstacle. But if we need to climb up on an obstacle, we don't need an obstacle tag. So the mean height to perform this parkour action, this means the mean obstacle highest. Okay, so the mean highest is the minimum obstacle highest for this obstacle. Okay, so I will say that my obstacle is going to be from 1.4 to perform this parkour action to 2.5. okay, and I want the player to rotate to obstacles, mean that the player will rotate to the obstacle, so I needed to rotate to the obstacle. Well, this is not the hard part. The hard part is starting here, because we need to enable the target matching, and the target matching is something that makes the player fit to the highest and fit to the side of the obstacle, or maybe the length of the obstacle. Okay, so first of all, we need to fit the highest. To fit any value of this, set the value to 1. 1 it means the maximum, so we are pushing the animation to just one weight. If you know about weight in Unity, you can know that Unity making 1 is the biggest. If you set it to 2 or 3 or 4, you don't have to, because it's the maximum here is 1. It's mean folds it up all the animation weight on the y-axis to 1. So the rotate motion, to prepare this, go to climbing. Okay, and where do we have this animation? We have it on axis. Okay, so on axis I can see that I'm having this animation. So right now I need to see which part of the body is reacting with the obstacle. So I see right now, here you go, first object that's reacting with the obstacle is the right hand. So it's the right hand. So to set up the start and end mesh time, we start from when the player is start to jump in the air, which is something from 4%, maybe, no, so I will set it to something like 6% to start time, and when the player put his own hand on the obstacle, which is 70%. Okay, so you go to climbing here, you set the right hand, I'm sorry, this is the right foot, the right hand here, because right hand is the first part who's reacting with the highest with the ledge of the obstacle. Okay, then for match start time we have set it to 0.6%, and this one is how much it was, maybe I said 16, let's say 15 here. We will try different value, and because we are trying in the climb up action to fit not only the highest but on the z-axis, but we are going to try it without the z-axis right now and see if it's climbing working. So the final step you need to do is to go to your player, which is green in my state. So clean this demonstration parkour action list and add parkour action. Okay, and I will put my climbing, which I've made here, on this. Okay, so to climb this obstacle, so go to your scene right now, and what you need to do is to set this climbing on some object. Okay, I got this scene or demon scene from RBJ FPS game assets, and it's free on Unity store. You can go and download it. So as you can see, I've made the layer of the ground to ground, set it to ground, and this one I had put only the layer obstacle. All what you have to do is, for performing parkour action, if you see a surface just like this, not like this one, as you can see it's not looking like in form, you can use the mesh collider and set it to obstacle and everything is fine. But in here you need not to use mesh collider, you need to use box collider and fit your player to the obstacle that you do have. So for my example, I put it here, maybe here, here and here. Okay, so in this one I've put it on obstacle, but as I do not have for this highest, it's really very small height, so I'm gonna add one of my default animations or actions, so I can perform parkour action on this one too. So this one, I think it's the jump up, will be good for it. So let's click on it and hit jump up, and jump up need to be before the climbing here, and the reason for that is because this obstacle is not set only to the highest from 1 to 1.5, but our climbing, as you remember, it's from 1.4 to 2.5. So you need to set the mean highest here, the first action to play. Okay, so the first step is coming jumping because it's from 1 to 1.4, and then this obstacle is much higher than this one, so it's going to be from 1.5 to 2.5. Let's demonstrate right now and see if we will get an error. I hope we are not. So let's see. Okay, our animation is playing, but as you can see, the leg of the player is entered into the side of the obstacle, which is this, the Z-axis, and this is because we didn't match target. So we go for climbing here, and we didn't demonstrate the Z-axis, so it's not usually coming that you need to fit the Z, but in some parkour action, if you see the legs are attaching to the wall or enter inside of the wall, so fit the Z axis into this, and because you need to match the side and the highest of the obstacle. So let us see. Right now, as you can see, the player hand, the player leg is not entering the obstacle. So for this obstacle we play the jump up. For this obstacle we need to climb again, and as you can see, whatever my highest is, this is because it's much higher than 2 point. So let's set it to 1.9 and see if we can match target. Yes, we can. So we are matching all the animation, and all the animation is coming very good. So this one is really very high. So right now I'm matching, as you can see, I'm matching climbing just the wall. Okay, and here you go, I'm on the roof of the building, so I climb up the building. So right now let's perform the second parkour action, then we will add some parkour action so we can climb a lot of things. So first thing, let's use this one, which have an obstacle layer too, but here an exception, it has an vault tag. Okay, over here. So the same thing we are doing actually with our climbing system. So we got the animation name vault over, just like over here, and we got the tag vault, which is on the ledge itself, it's vault. So over here it's vault, and this is because you are vaulting over to the other side of the ledge, but if you are climbing on the ledge you don't need any tags. And I set the mean height for this action is 0.5 to 1.4, and I rotate to the obstacle, and because the player is performing the parkour action using the left hand, as you can see in the animation, So let's see if they have animation. Yes. So let's come back again. So as you can see here, if I rotate this one, the right hand and left hand in the same moment going, but you can set one of them and it's going to be okay. And as you can see, the main start time when the players start to jump in the air is 60%, and he finished up at the most highest at like 38%. So let's go and see for 11%, as I told you before. So, and I didn't know why I set it here to 20. Let's just check it up one more time. Is this 20? Ah yeah, the time which we are jumping in the air is about 11%, and here you go. So he grabbed his all hands at 20%. This is the main reason that I put over here 20. So let's go to our character again after we have set up the vault. The only exception here that we are using tag for the vaulting over. You can use one tag and different heights, and that will work. Okay, so this is right now very important. We need to hit the plus button, add our vault climbing action just like we did with the climbing, but this time because vault is with the tag, so the obstacle with the tag need to be the first one. Okay, so the first one is the obstacle with the tag, and you go for the highest then. So this is small highest, this is going to be more higher, this is going to be more higher, and then becoming the obstacle with no tag like jump up and climbing. So let's see right now if it doesn't work perfectly. Or so I set this obstacle to the same layer, so I can see on different animation does it work or not. Yes, it does. So the player is performing the new parkour action that we have made on a different obstacle with a different heights, okay, and different rotation without any problem. And we implement the, of course, climb up action here. So right now we understand the system. So as an exercise, I want to add the sit up here. Sit up. It's not step up. Okay. So this is the step up which our package is included. So if I want to think where I want to add this action, first of all I need to think, is step up I'm stepping on the obstacle or I needed to vault over the obstacle? Actually step up is on the obstacle. So first of all, it's not gonna be in the beginning, so I'm gonna look in my animation where do I actually have this step up without tag animation actions. Okay, this is the actions without tags. So I will add my step up there, and I'll see right now the highest. So the highest is from 0.2 to 0.9, which is, I think it must be in the beginning of non-tag actions, because it has the most lowest highest obstacle that you can see. So right now let's hit play and see if this guy will sometimes play some animation. So the jump up is working fine, climb up is working fine, and you can edit these actions actually when you are in play mode. So this is what make it good. So for this obstacle, I think it's a step up. Yeah, so he did step up on this, and right now he's climbing. So as you can see, different climb animation. So right now I want to make a different parkour action with this ledges. So in this ledges we have only our vault. So let's turn it actually to something like jumping over. Okay, to jumping over, and then when we have this tag jumping over, let's go to our customize, which is this package has of actions. So let's go into the parkour system, maybe no, parkour customize we need. So parkour customize player, and I will just make this jump over to play, or jumping over, maybe let's try jumping over. But as you can see the tag here with capital O, so let's make it with small o as it is on the obstacle. So right now let's go to our character, which is green, and let's hit plus. So as this action is actually with tag, so I need where to put this action, which is jumping over. Okay, so I will put it in the end at the first. So then I'll make it up this action which is without tags. So right now I have jumping over and vault, and I need to see vault right now from which highest to which highest. So from 0.5 to 1.4. Okay, see the jumping over, which highest is taken. It's from 1.6 to 2. So which means that the vault one has to be in the beginning and the jumping over after that immediately. So let's just check right now and see if I okay, let's see on this. No, we are jump up, and here we are vaulting over. Because the highest is not fit on this obstacle, so it's need a highest from 1.6 to 2, so I'm gonna set it to 1.8 highest, okay, for this obstacle, okay, to perform parkour action using the jumping over. Of course I can use the same highest with the jumping over and the others. As you can see I'm jumping, I'm sorry, as you can see I'm jumping over this obstacle, and this is another parkour action. And how does it work?